I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ram, raw, beans.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Welcome to Big Things Kentucky Semifinals week, Coach.
Coach, big week. Hey, I'm looking forward to it, Coach. I'm Coach Bew, my man, Coach TB on the side, Coach Truck. We got a lot of stuff going on. 3 Lexus schools representing. But Coach, let me step off a little bit. As a pleasantly plump guy and a fellow fat guy in yourself, what are you looking for most to grab it on your plate come Thanksgiving afternoon?
Coach, I want some dressing with gravy and some cranberry sauce, Coach.
I got you, Coach.
That's what I want.
Can't go wrong. And then later on night, about 9 o'clock, right before you want to lay down for a minute, fish your old turkey sandwich with a little Miracle Whip cheese, and you call it night, Coach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just get your bag of Grippos.
Bag of Grippos. All right, Coach.
Coach, we don't only have one team in the Final Four. We only have 2 teams in the Final Four, but we got 3 teams from the city of Lexington in the Final Four, Coach. We got my War Eagles, LCA Eagles, the Bryan Station Defenders, the home team, and then your 859 Broncos, who, Coach, I ain't gonna lie, they're a little tougher fight than we thought. Would you agree? Coach.
We thought it was gonna be a game. We both felt like Douglas had a little more than Woodford County, and that's kind of how it played out. I think, Woodford stuck with them, but in the end, they just couldn't keep up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you, my head's off, Coach Dennis Johnson.
Hey.
Coach, this team is young. You got Leighton Starks, you got Man. You got the quarterback to be back, Coach. Jasper may play. So, Coach, this team very well could be back next year.
Yes, sir. And then think about it, Coach. We had they bowed out, and then my Scott County Cardinals, man. Shout out to Coach McKee and the great year they had. They jumped up and just couldn't hold on, man. And now Southwestern advanced, who we kind of seen them a lot. Well, first, Coach, before we get started, I ain't gonna even pull up the standings. Congratulations on a perfect week, Coach. We don't happen too often, but good job, Coach.
Hold on, Coach. My man, hold
on. A few moments later.
You know, Coach.
We haven't seen Mr. Perfect in a minute, Coach.
That's right. You address me as Mr. Perfect. Because Coach, I went perfect on the week, Coach. Unstoppable, Coach. I try to tell you, follow my lead, and you be somebody in life. But you want to be a bum all your life. Now you're going to lose a 3rd year in a row. Here's another 3rd championship for me and TB.
I can't. You know what, man? First of all, congratulations to the Bryan Station Defenders, my Douglas Broncos, and LCA. Like you say, we got 3 the hard way. Let's get ready to talk about these semifinal games, Coach. All right, Coach. First up, 2A, Coach, we got LCA traveling to Mayfield. Mayfield, a perennial power. We wanted to kind of get a feel for Mayfield. We don't get to see them out west too often. So we had a chance to sit down with Mayfield legendary Hall of Fame coach, Coach Joe Morris. Here's our interview with him. Coach, man, another undefeated season, a regional championship. You can almost pin Mayfield in on this when we come out with the rankings. Coach, man, just kind of tell us about your great program, Coach.
Well, I'm very fortunate down here. We got a community that loves football. I mean, they support us. I got a great coaching staff. I've had great players. I mean, that's what it comes down to. X's and O's, you can do all the X's and O's you want, but if you don't have great players to execute it, you're not going to be successful. But, we feel like we develop our players. me and our coaches developed really good relationships with our kids. They trust us. They want to play football here in Mayfield from we started in the third grade, and those guys love playing for Mayfield. And I've had a lot of great guys that coach in Little League, middle school, and coaches here. And it's just a great community for football. We expect to win. If we're not in this spot, they're ready to fire us. We did not get here in 2020, and what's going on? What are y'all doing? You're too old to do this, but it's fun. And I enjoy our kids, and this team right here is 13-0. I don't know if anybody expected us to be where we are right now, especially at 13-0. But hey, we're here. We got a great opponent on Friday, and we're gonna go out there and we're gonna compete.
Now, Coach, man, thank you for joining us tonight. First of all, I gotta say, of course, like I said, great year. Man, Coach, you've had one tough game. That's Paducah Tillman when you won. When you won 16-14. Other than that, Coach, you've been steamrolling folks, Coach. How impressive was that? What you've done, and then how do you tell the kids, okay, we got a better opponent coming in this week. We got to be a little more prepared. We might be more of a dogfight.
Well, our kids understand that. We tell them all the time it's going to get tougher and tougher, and our schedule. We've had a couple opponents that that are usually better than they were this year. They just had a little bit of down year, but usually you got like McCracken County, who's a really good 6A program, and Hopkinsville. Early in the year, they had a new coach and they weren't gelling yet, and so we played some really good football teams. Paducah Tillman is our big rival. They had them all back from last year's state runner-up team. Just barely got beat last week, but so we've been through some battles, but this is by far the best team that we've come across. Our kids know it, and last year we go up to Beechwood, and Beechwood, hey, they were the better team. They were way better team than they were. They were way better team last year than we were. We didn't go up there and play well, and they won it. And we didn't make it, but our kids are hungry to get back to that state championship game. From 2009 to 2019, we were in that state championship game every year except for one. And we didn't go in 20, we didn't go in 21. Our kids are hungry to get back to that game, and we know we got a great opponent coming up in Lexington Christian, and we're going to go out there, and our kids are going to compete, and that's one thing Mayfield kids are always going to do. They're going to compete.
Now, Coach, what separates this team from some of your other teams this year?
Every team is different. The personality is different, the makeup of your team. And I think that's one thing that our staff does such a good job of is adjusting to our talent. Hey, we're a small school. We don't get to bring kids in here like, some other schools do. We get what's dealt to us. And, sometimes, we've had years that we've been spread teams, and then next year we say, hey, we don't have that type of talent. We use more tight ends and stuff like that. And, same way sometimes we don't have the defensive linemen we want to do to play the defense that we want. And so we have to adjust. And our staff does a good job of putting our kids in good situations. Our kids trust us. And we know our kids are going to play hard for us. We're not the biggest team, the fastest team, but we're going to compete.
Nicole, speaking of that, talking about having to adjust and go away from being a running team to being a spread team. I have to say this is probably a fairly even team across the board. You got your quarterback, Zane Cartwright, 1,800 yards passing, 21 touchdowns, averaging 139 yards a game. And then you come back with rushing attack, Terry Starks, 927 yards, 17 touchdowns. And then Makai Dumas. So it's like you're a pretty well-balanced team this year on offense.
We are. I mean, every year we want to establish a run. I mean, that's the way I grew up. My dad coached here for a lot of years, and he was a wishbone guy that ran a lot of power and counter and belly and a lot of good stuff, and and play action pass. And we probably started, we just spread it out a little bit more just because we got some talented kids. And I made that move in about 90 when I first started over. About 2000, I said, hey, we got some athletes out here. We got to spread the thing out. We got to get the ball to these athletes out here and in space. We throw a lot of screens, we throw a lot of quick stuff, and trying to get the ball in our athletes' hands and let them roll. And you throw a little 5-yard screen, and this guy makes a guy miss and goes a distance. Makes those quarterback stats go up, and makes us look brilliant. Hey, let the athlete make you look like a really good coach, and that's what we try to do here. And some years some years we've had those guys. Some years we're more of a power running team, and I think, but that's the main thing is our coaches figure out what we can do and what we can do the best, and go at it from there.
All right, Coach. Now this week's game you got representing our little area is LCA. Powerful team. They've been to the regional championships. I think this is their 3rd year in a row getting there. How are you going to handle this powerful LCA team this week, Coach?
Whew, that's a great question. You can come down and help me if you want to, because they got.
Well, Coach, they might say I am helping you because they don't think I ride with them, Coach.
Coach Charles, I mean, great guy. I've got to know Coach Charles just a little bit. Met him at a clinic up there. Just a great guy, and their staff do a great job of doing the same thing that we try to do. Is they just do a little bit differently, but they do a great job of getting their athletes the ball, and they've got 4 or 5 great athletes out there that they get the ball to and get them and let them run let those guys do their thing. And they give you a lot of formations, they give you a lot of motions, and but we're going to challenge our kids. The quarterback is fantastic, but hey, we know it's going to be a challenge, and we're sitting in here, and we got coaches meetings in here on Sunday, and one of our coaches, oh gosh, man, they do this and that, and I said, guys, this is a Final Four game. It ain't going to be. It ain't supposed to be easy, But hey, we're going to go out there. We're going to get after them. Our kids are going to compete, and hopefully we can make some plays, get some pressure on that quarterback because he's fantastic, and the receivers are fantastic defensively. They get after you. It's going to be a challenge for us, and we know it. But it's supposed to be. It's a Final Four game.
Now, Coach, you talk like you ain't got a chance there, Coach. You got some
I didn't say that. We got a chance.
Hey, listen, if you asking Coach Truck to come over and coach, you giving up, Coach. You don't want him over there. He done got fired from everywhere he's been at. Nobody want him coaching. But, man, this defense is impressive as well, Coach. I mean, Ian Williams, 88 tackles, 3 for a loss, 1 sack. You got Carter Morris, 55 tackles. I mean, Coach, I can go on and on. You got about 3 or 4 kids over 40 tackles. That's pretty impressive for that defense.
Well, we pride ourselves in defense here, and we spend a lot of time on defense. We really do. And I got a defense coordinator who's been with me a long time named Cliff Dew, and I got Mike Rogers and Chris Watkins, those guys on my defensive staff, and they put together a great game plan, and we stress defense. We way more. I mean, we probably feel like we stress defense probably more than most teams, and try to put our kids in really good situations. The thing about our defense here, we lost our leader of our defense in Game 3 against Paducah Tillman in the first quarter. Jax Rogers, his 3rd year, Jax played 3 games. He was our leading tackler. He's our leader. He was our defensive quarterback. He's a coach's son, Mike Rogers, which y'all might know. Mike coached Orange Central and Graves County as head coach. He was at Paducah Tillman for a couple of years there. We're fortunate to have Mike here. He's a really, really good coach. But you know what? We lost Jackson, inside linebacker. We inserted Carter Morris, and that's all you can do. You got to put the next guy up, and this guy's done a great job for us. You talked about Carter earlier. Ian Williams is just a sophomore, great linebacker, our leading tackler. But he kind of leaned on Jax, earlier in the year, and but he's kind of got a leadership role for us. He's one of those guys that you love to have on your team. You got to run him out of the weight room. After practice, he's in the weight room. Hour and a half after practice, when coach is leaving, you got to say, "Hey, it's time to go." You got to go rest. And great kid in the school, great leader on our football team, and and kind of kids like him, and we got several like that. But that's the reason we're successful. And those guys, next guy up mentality, and our defense has played great all year, and we're going to have to play our best game of the year this week.
All right, Coach. Well, we want to appreciate you for spending some time with us, Coach. Before we get you out of here, we just want to know, what's the main thing that you guys are going to have to do to walk out of here with a win this Friday, Coach?
Oh, wow. Bottom line is, in these games, I think it's two evenly matched teams. You got to take care of the football. We didn't do a great job running the ball. I didn't think our offensive line was physical. We want to run the ball. We got to be more physical. But the main thing is not turning the ball over. We feel like we can play good defense. I know they're going to complete some passes. They're too good not to. They're going to move the ball. They're too good not to. But if you don't turn the ball over and you play great defense, you're going to have a chance to win. And, we've done a great job of that. We play great defense. We've done pretty good. I think we've got, we've got three. I'm looking at six. I think we've got 6 turnovers, maybe 7 turnovers for the entire year. So if you don't turn the ball over, I think we fumbled at 3 to have 3 interceptions. I think, if you take care of the ball like that, good things are going to happen. And, ball security is, always important. And, when you got 2 evenly matched teams out there, and, it's who gets a break, and you just got to keep playing. And, that's what my I don't know, I guess you want to say motto or whatever you want to call it is, hey, play the next play. Guy catches a touchdown pass over you. Sometimes the quarterback's going to throw it perfect. They're going to catch a ball. They're going to score a touchdown. You pat them on the butt, say, come back and play the next play. And that's what, no matter what happens, you miss a block, we make a mistake, play the next play and keep playing. And, I think our guys buy into that and play the next play and keep everybody up and stay positive.
All right, Coach. Coach Bill, you got anything else for Coach, man, before we get out of here?
Nah, man. Great interview, Coach Morris. We appreciate you joining us today. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys having me on. Keep up the good work for high school sports in this state. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Coach, man, great interview with Coach Morris. Man, a lot of history there. Talk about how his dad was an old school wing T quarterback coach. So, man, he implemented a lot of that in his system, man. So, I ain't gonna lie, Coach, this severe could be a good one. This Mayfield tip really ain't been tested except for Paducah Tillman. So, hey, this could be a tough one, the LCA, Coach.
And it's one thing about Mayfield, hey, like he said, they expect to win, Coach. Coach, man, our Eagles got to travel there. We know Cutter Bowley. We talked to Coach about his program and some of the good players there. Coach, man, can a Riverboat Gambler go down there and pull it off, Coach?
Coach, I ain't gonna lie. I'm steady letting you talk myself into this one, Coach, because I'm a little worried. I ain't gonna lie. This is not the typical Doug Charles LCA team. Coach, I don't know, Coach. I think it's going to be hard to go down to Mayfield and beat this team. They've been impressive all year, Coach. I mean, impressive.
Okay, Coach.
I'll let you pick first.
You're going to let me pick first? Well, Coach, man, I'm going to stick to form, true to form. It's been a great year, LCA. I've enjoyed watching Cutter Bowley and the crew. Coach Doug, I love you, man. I support you. I believe in you. That's why give me LCA, Coach. We're going on the road. Road Warriors. Let's get it done, baby. third time to Kroger Field, baby. Let's go LCA, coach.
You gonna lie, I'm a little flabbergasted about this. This is throwing me off a whole lot. Coach, you done got me choked up, coach. Oh man. When the haberdash and the habernack is going on here, in the words of Tony Baker, coach. Ah man, you threw me off. I'm gonna go. You know what? War Eagle, coach. Let me go LCA, coach. I'm going War Eagle.
All right, coach. Now we're going to take a little detour before we get to where we need to get. We're going to look at 4A. We got 3 schools that's close to the program and 1 school we saw at the very beginning of the season. We've got Central at Boyle, coach. Coach Marvin Dantzler, you know, friend of the program. Shout out to my man, Charles Edison, defense coordinator over there at Central doing big things. Cache State, thoroughbred. At Boyle County, who's been outside of them 2 Lexington losses, they've been rolling and they got their lick back, coach.
They did.
Coach, man, how you feeling about this one, coach?
Man, first off, shout out to my guy, Coach Smut, over there doing his thing over there for Central. I love Coach Dancer. Gave me down number love for us. Because it's gonna be hard to go over there to Bullcat on a Friday night, coach. They could be parking at Demo High School and walking down to Bullcat. It's gonna be packed, coach. It's gonna be out the chain. I think they got something to prove with them earlier losses, Douglas and the Cavity. Coach, give me Bullcat.
Coach, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think Boyle is just a juggernaut right now. But I tell you what, this may be one of the funnest games all year. Yes. And I won't mind being wrong on this one, coach.
Don't think Coach Dazzler ain't gonna bring them boys in there and be ready to play now.
Oh,
they
absolutely.
Be dressed in hey, look here, if Bull County's in there white, they're gonna be in there all black, and they gonna come out there like the bad guys do work. I'm telling you right now. So it's gonna be a heck of a game, like you said.
Now, also, we got the Franklin County coach, our man, Coach Eddie James, you know, doing big things there, man. You know, we came a long way from when we first met Coach James, where he was almost about to leave for Highlands. And here he is, you know, back in the semifinals again with this team. You know, Franklin County started out the season slow, coach, you know, and everybody was kind of like, I think this, you know, rebuild, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? But here they are, taking on the mighty Corbin Redhounds, coach.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Coach, I'm not to cut you off, but I'm going to tell you this. Now, I thought the same thing about Franklin County. I just put up this schedule, coach. Scott County, 5A. Corbin, powerhouse.
Yeah.
Ballard, a 6A powerhouse. Woodford County, 5A powerhouse. Those are 4 of their first 5 games, coach. And then after they went on a run, had a tough loss to Central, played Massey Southern. I mean, coach, this has been a loaded schedule that Coach Eddie James put together. So they are battle tested, coach. Don't think they ain't.
Now, we got Corbin, like you said, they played earlier in the season. Remind me of the score of that one again, coach.
Coach, score that one was 40-20, Corbin, and they was at home. They got to travel to Corbin this time, coach.
All right. Now, Corbin, I saw Corbin, and we did our preseason special when they came and scrimmaged Henry Clay. And you could tell right then, even I was right then, I was like, man, I might have to get me a Corbin shirt because I like this Corbin team. Corbin is deep, loaded, athletic. Makes me look good again, make me feel better about myself that I picked them, you know. Coach, man, I love what's going on in Corbin. They got a nice program as always. You know, Coach Haddix, you know, was one-time coach there, so we're kind of familiar with them. Coach, can Coach James pull a rabbit out of his hat this time, coach, and get that lick back? Or does Corbin keep rolling, coach?
Coach, shout out to Coach Tommy Greer there, Corbin coach. Corbin coach is a powerhouse. They beat Pikeville. They beat Whitley County, Franklin County, Somerset, Knox Central, Harlan County, coach, and Johnson Central. Coach, I go on and on. The teams they had beat, they're currently number 1 in 4A, coach. A well-balanced attack. You got quarterback Cade Elam has thrown for 2,090 93 yards, 27 touchdowns, coach, and only 3 interceptions. Then you got a running back in Cameron Combs on 126 attempts. He got 1,177 yards, coach, 16 rush touchdowns, averaging over 90 yards a game, coach. I ain't gonna lie. Coach Eddie James, great year. Great job what you done. Shout out to my guy there, little Al Green, Fanny there, doing his thing down there. But too much Corbin, coach. Give me Corbin.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride with Corbin too on that one, coach. Now, coach, up first in 5A. We got Southwestern, our Southwestern Warriors, who we familiar with, man. We got a lot of people giving us shout outs, love the program for Southwestern. They're gonna welcome in Bowling Green, perennial state power Bowling Green, coach. Southwestern's undefeated. Looks like almost a collision course with Douglas. If they can get through this Bowling Green game, coach. Coach, man. Coach Foley's, hey, I like Southwestern, coach, man. This is like we said, we talked about the running backs and the defense. Hey, they put their net rolls on that second half, and they put up a wall against Scott County, baby. So,
coach, they were definitely impressive. Coach, this is a running team. They not gonna come. They can come out. They can throw it a few down, but they're gonna tell you we're gonna line up and smack in your mouth. You got my guy Tanner Wright, 1,562 yards. 25 touchdowns on 120 yards, 20 yards a game. Then he come back with Christian Walden, coach, 1,128 yards, 15 touchdowns, almost 90 yards rushing. I mean, coach, this is impressive, coach. This is a ground and pound, shut it down your throat team, coach. And I ain't gonna lie, I kind of like Southwestern in this game, coach.
And if anything, they are gonna be physical.
Oh, yeah, they're going to smack in your mouth, coach.
Do the Purples come in and go for another state championship, or do the physical Warriors get there, coach? Coach, I'm riding with the Warriors, coach.
Right there with you, coach. Let's go.
All right, Coach Foley, man. Hopefully we might get a chance to talk to you before the state championship game. Good luck, Warriors. All right, coach. Now, the primetime game, coach. The 859 Broncos, baby, on our Get Our Lick Back tour. Welcomes in Owensboro, man. I swear they played, this has got to be like the 3rd year in a row, 4th year in a row, I think, that they played.
Man. And Owensboro had their number one.
Epic battles with these teams,
they have had some epic battles. Coach, man, I'm telling you what, Frederick Douglas has been doing what Frederick Douglas been doing. Had their first close game, I say, all year against a tough Woodford County team coached by Dennis Johnson. Impressive year by these young men. But, Coach, I'm telling you what, Frederick Douglas is on a mission, Coach. I'm telling you right now. I don't know what it is. I don't know what somebody done said. But, they ready to play. They played a lot of kids. They finally getting their kids in to get some full-time game speed. So, I guess you're going to see the machine really going. Led and rushing by T.J. Horton, 641 or 14 touchdowns. Cole Carpenter, 1,600 yards passing. Receiving Tylon Webb, coach, 533. On defense, coach, of course, led by, that front dogs up front, big chops in hand, doing that thing over there. Then you got Taryn Hicks, of course, Mr. Football candidate Ty Bryant, and Darian Neal, another one of the Neal brothers doing this thing, coach.
Hey, it's no flies on that secondary, coach, man. Hey, but we know, hey, Owensboro ain't scared. Owensboro said they want all the smoke. They know everything that they got. You got Casey Boone as the quarterback, putting up nice numbers. You got 1,500 yards passing, 15 touchdowns. Leading rusher, Kenyatta Corbin. He's been doing big things for Owensboro. Had another almost 1,500 yards rushing this season, coach. Man, look. Hey. Woo! This is their 4th straight regional championship.
Coach, let me go on and say, give me Douglas, coach. 859 Broncos.
Say it again, coach. I like the way that sounds, coach.
Give me the Broncos, coach. Your 859 Broncos, coach.
And also, we want to give a shout out to Coach McPeak and Ty Bryant, who were the district coach of the year and player of the year for that 5A district. Congratulations to them. Shout out to them. Coach, man, I'm riding my Broncos. Hey, we ride or die, baby. We going to Kroger. I got my list together already. Let's see. I got bread. milk, eggs. Yes, I'm going to Kroger, baby.
Groceries are high, Coach, but yeah, get there.
Yeah, you
Use
see
your
my
Kroger
list
card.
wasn't too long, didn't you, Coach?
No, sir. No, sir.
All right, Coach, in 6A semifinals, we got the powerhouse Louisville Male, the only one left standing, Coach. I mean, honestly, you know, very, very rarely do we get to this point where two of the big three are out.
Yeah, yeah.
And shout out to Ballard. We tried to catch up with Coach Morton, but it just didn't work for this episode. Ballard, we talked about Ballard last week, man. They came out and did what they needed to do. Mail has had some injuries and, you know, kind of started slow as far as Mail is concerned, you know.
Yeah.
But, Coach, I think Mail's back on a mission. They full strength. Coach, you know, I'm riding my man, Coach Wolf, and the Mail Bulldogs. Let's go Mail, baby.
Coach, I think I'm going to flip it up on you a little bit. Now, mind you, Ballard beat Mail early in the year.
Yeah, we get our lick back, Coach. That's the theme of this year, Coach.
And that's a possibility, Coach. But you know what, man? Little birdie told me Coach Morton's from the 859. So I got to ride with the 859 guy. Coach give me Ballard, led by Tristan Hawkins. 1,378 yards passing, 13 touchdowns. Led in rushing by Journey Weiss, 898, 9 touchdowns. And on defense, they led by my guy Gavin Willis, Coach. So 170 tackles, 6 sacks. And I got to mention his road dog, Jamarcus Frank, 130, 7 sacks. And while I'm at it, give me Cameron Norfleet, 96 tackles, 6 sacks. Coach, that defense is a monster, Coach. They terrorizing folks. You having nightmares right now? Think about them 3 dudes coming at you. Give me Ballard, Coach. You're going to see a change in the guards this year, Ballard.
All right, Coach. Now, from Coupe de Gracie, we got 6A, Yo Bryan Station Defenders, welcoming in the Bullitt East Chargers. Now, we wanted to get a feel for Bullitt East, so we got a chance to sit down and talk with Coach Keegan Kendrick, who has a lot of ties to this area, having played for Boyle, you know. He coached under Coach Ethan Ashley, you know, so he's very familiar with the Lexington area. We got a chance to catch up with Coach Keegan before this game. Here's that interview. Coach, man, hey, welcome to Big Things County. You know, you're kind of familiar with the area, having played in Boyle County. You know, you've coached around the schools in this area. Familiar with our man, Ethan Ashley, you know, former coach at Bullitt East. So I guess this might be kind of like a little mini homecoming for you, huh, Coach?
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, as y'all said, grew up in Danville, and honestly, much more familiar with the Lexington area than the Louisville area before I got here. But I'm hopefully quickly learning it, and so trying to adapt and figure it out. But yeah, from that Lexington area, played some of those Lexington schools, and here we are now.
Now, Coach Kendrick, man, thank you for joining us. You was part of Ethan's staff, so you was part of his turnaround in building Bullitt East back up. Are you surprised at how well you, as a coach, and this program performed under you this year, even with Ethan leaving and everything going on, you taking over and keeping this program going to where you right now in the Final Four, the Final Four, the state champion, to get to the state championship?
Am I surprised? I don't think surprise is the word. You know, we knew we had a lot of potential this year, and our kids had some talent, and we knew we had, you know, some of the pieces to be successful. But you know, our kids, you know, here in recent Bullitt East history haven't been there, and they haven't, you know, put all the pieces together like they've needed to be able to get this far. And so we knew the potential was there. We knew we had a really high ceiling. But for them to be able to kind of figure it out and buy into the things we've been asking them to do this entire season, and really, you know, sacrifice for each other and really build that team camaraderie. You know, that's the stuff that we thought was possibly there, and those kids have answered that call. So they've done a really good job getting it figured out, and you know we're reaping the reward right now. So I'm really proud of them.
Real quick, let me ask you a question. How did you put your stamp on this? How do you say, okay, this is where I differentiate a little bit from Ethan. Here's my stamp. This is what I expect from you guys.
You know, I was the offensive coordinator last year for the first year, and truthfully, I can't thank Coach Ashley enough for the things he was able to teach me. For the last 3 years while I was a part of his staff here at Bullitt East, was able to learn and really kind of, I feel like, make some strides growing into the game of my knowledge in the game of football, thanks to him and his willingness to share a lot of that stuff with me. Some of the things we want to do differently this year, I think, really, I feel like take what was already in place offensively with, we had 10 returners coming back on offense of 11, which if you have that, that you're pretty lucky as a high school coach. So having those 10 guys come back, we wanted to go to the grindstone and figure out, okay, what was successful? What do we weak in? What do we need to build off of? And really what I feel like this year is I think I've learned more how to use our kids in different ways, and they've done a really good job of taking what they know and now adding the wrinkles and different things that have helped us be successful. So they've done a really good job of that. And then defensively, hired a new defensive coordinator named Kenny Thornsberry, who was actually the head coach at Nelson County for a couple of years there for a little bit, and has been an assistant in a couple different schools. But he's done a really good job of taking over the defense and helping our kids really buy into the culture. And I would say that is the biggest thing we really harped on this year is the culture piece, getting our kids to really buy into, we do have some packages because we have some experience and we have the ability to do different things. But really, I think what has led to more of our success this year than any X's and O's or schemes has been these kids have bought into the grind. And I know that's so cliche, but it's so true. And I think I think it's really hard to get, and as men, as coaches, to hold them accountable every day. I mean, they wear you out. But us to keep holding them to that standard and them, answering the call, allowing themselves to be coached that way, allowing themselves to work that hard on things. I think they've just answered the call, and they've risen to the occasion.
All right, Coach. So now we are 12-1, Coach. Final Four. You and Bryan Station, probably, if they started the season, I don't think anybody really would have thought you guys would be here. Here you are, Coach, coming to Lexington. Just kind of tell us about, your preparation and how you feeling about this season and this team, Coach.
Yeah. So kind of reiterating what I said, I think we knew coming into it, we had some kids that could do some special things, had to answer a couple pieces positionally coming into it, had to figure out some O-line stuff at the start of the year, had to figure out pieces on our defense with a whole new defense. But early on, we could kind of tell we had the ability to compete.
So did you kind of see it where you kind of, you're in practice and you like, guys, I think we got something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We definitely had more, I would say, competitive ability this year than we've had in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
The question I was stressing about back in the summer and going into the season was our mentality more than anything else. Our kids struggled handling extrinsic things that were taking place on them. They would get flustered in 7-on-7s at the start of the year with officiating or the other team, or stuff between themselves. They would allow to kind of bother all these things, and so there was a point where I was honestly thinking, man, we could either be a season like we're having now, or we might lose more games than we lost last year. And it was kind of dependent on how they responded together. And I think our staff did a good job of communicating that same message, and they did a really good job of buying in. And we had to take a learning experience from Spencer County at the start of the year? Well, we actually scrimmaged Ballard and we scrimmaged South Warren. And we had two pretty good showings or scrimmages. And I think our kids thought, well, heck, we're about to come into the season and roll. Well, guess what? Spencer County didn't get that message. So they let us know what was up really quick. And I think that was a huge learning experience for us. And it got our minds realigned in the right spot. And, we've learned a few things throughout the season, and here we are.
Quick, can you speak? Man, this is pretty much a well-balanced team. You've got over 2,300 yards passing. You got over 1,200 yards rushing. You got Mason Gaither and then Travis Egan. Just briefly, if you can talk about those two young men and how balanced this offense is.
Yeah, that's made my job much easier as a head coach, as an offensive coordinator, play caller this year. Is we do feel like we have the ability to get the ball out in space, or if you want to bail 8, then we can hopefully make you pay underneath and run the ball a little bit. We've got a very underrated hard-nosed runner in Mason Gauthier. He's a little smaller than some of your bigger school backs, but he runs with a passion, and he runs hard. And he's behind an offensive line that, as I kind of mentioned earlier, there were some pieces we had to figure out to start. And actually, I think in the first 5 games, we had people hurt. And so really kind of in the second half of the season when the offensive line started coming together and meshing. So I think that was really the difference in the latter half of the season. We've really been able to pick up our run game and get that going. Travis Egan has been able to hurt people on his feet as well as through the air. And once you defend all that, we've got some pretty good receivers in Cameron Brogan, Nolan Davenport that can, if you want to load the box, he can get it out and get it to him. So, we try to figure out when we play an opponent. I usually kind of script my first few plays and kind of figure out how they might adjust and align to us. And, the kind of the game plan becomes, what are they giving us? And we try to expose what they're giving us and let our kids go to work.
All right, Coach. Gotcha. We got a tough regional we got a tough semifinal game coming back to Lexington, taking on Bryan Station. First time they've been there since '99. Coach Buell's an alumni. They are in a frenzy, Coach. What's it going to take for the Bullitt East Chargers to get out of Lexington with a win, Coach?
So yes, we've been watching that tape, and they're a physical football team. And they want to let you know when you leave Friday night that who you played. And I think that's how they beat Trinity. They just out physicaled them. So that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to step up and I think an advantage is we just played a pretty dang physical Central Hardin team, who were really big across the board, and they ran the wing tee. So now, little bit different style of offense, not run the wing tee, but some power football and want to run ISO and stuff at you from Bryan Station. So our guys are going to have to be willing to step up and stick their nose in there and try to shut it down at the line of scrimmage defensively and offensively. I think they have a really good defense. I think they're very high energy and they fly around with the football. And so our guys are just gonna have to execute. I don't think it's complicated. I don't think we have to, do a whole bunch of different things, but we have to have wrinkles in place and our kids have to go play. And at the end of the day, at this level, everybody's good. And the team that executes usually the ones that advances.
All right, Coach. We appreciate you for coming on. We wanted to stop in and just kind of get a, feel for everywhere else around. Want to wish you the best of luck, Coach. I like the Chargers, Coach, but I ain't gonna say nothing. But good luck to you, Coach, and thank you for coming on.
Absolutely, thank you, guys, and I appreciate what you all are doing for the game in Kentucky high school football. So thank you all.
Great by Coach Keegan, Coach. He did a great job with this team, stepping in for Ethan Ashley. Not a letdown at all. All he did is pick up and add his little sauce to it, put a little sprinkles of sauce on it and got these boys rolling. But you know what? They got a problem. They're rolling into the north side of Lexington, Coach. Give maybe my Bryan Station defenders. We're going back to the state championship first time since 1999. Fellas, if you're listening here, if you're a former player, come Thursday morning from 9:30, I think, to 11:30 to 11. They will be happy. We want all the former players to show up. and show it out and show these boys love and support, I would definitely be there, Coach. I'm about to bring my jersey out, even though it's a halter top now. But don't worry about it, Coach. Give me my defenders, baby. Let's go. North side, north. That's NORF for us real North Siders, not you.
Coach, man, I'm riding with you. Let's go, defenders. Let's go, baby. Hey, we winning, we riding. Like I said, we got 3 the hard way, baby. I want to see 3 Lexington teams in Kroger Field, and I'm rooting for the defenders. Let's do big things, baby. I'm convinced.
Coach, we don't want you. We don't want you. We don't feel like we don't feel the love in you. We don't feel it, Coach. You know, it took all I had to keep them people off you Friday night. Some people really want to do something to you. Tar and feather, pant you. They wanted to get you, Coach. But me and Coach TB had to talk him off the ledge and said, leave him alone. You know, he's a frail little old guy. Leave him alone.
Well, Coach, man, we got a poll up to figure out where you want us to be Friday night. I know, Coach. I know your heart, where your heart want to be.
Hey, Coach, we got to show them 859 Broncos love, and I ain't gonna lie, I think it'll be an early night over there, so we'll have plenty of time to start off tailgate with Coach TB, go to Douglas and set up. I think we'll be back over the station by halftime, Coach.
Oh, listen to you, Coach. All right, Coach. Well, Coach, man, another great week. Getting ready for that state championship week. We got a lot of big things planned for state championship week, so tune in. Happy Thanksgiving. You know, hopefully, after this, you go sit down and get you a nice full meal, Coach. Anything else?
Gobble, gobble, Coach. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. As always, just be a living donor. I'm Coach Bew, my man, Coach TB on assignment. Coach Truck.
Peace.